Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Monday, November 1st, at 7:34 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 645 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Election Day 2021, key races to watch. First, Milwaukee forest planted in the Northeast in Massachusetts. Officials, damaged U.S. Navy sub struck underwater mountain. He was shooting at passing cars on a major Florida highway. Someone got hit, cops say. Woman accused of pointing loaded gun at trick-or-treater now charged, Texas police say. What does "Let's Go Brandon" mean? Everything you need to know about the Joe Biden insult. 49 Wire, Gabrielle Union commemorates her 49th birthday by sharing this cheeky image with Dwayne Wade. Fans are left speechless. I'm 37 and living with stage 4 breast cancer. I had symptoms when I was 25, but doctors told me I was too young for a diagnosis. The U.S. Navy has figured out what a nuclear-powered attack submarine ran into in the South China Sea, report. Nebraska's frost, it's hard to ignore speculation about job. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Robert Ayers charged with second-degree murder in his wife's disappearance, The New York Times. Dow Jones Futures, stock market rally hits record levels as Tesla surges to all-time high, Investors Business Daily. Supreme Court hints that it may allow challenge to Texas abortion law, The New York Times. Jessica Simpson shares unrecognizable photo to honor 4 years of sobriety, HuffPost. Chris Pratt to voice Garfield in new animated feature exclusive, Hollywood Reporter. Apple working on OnStar-like features that call police in a car crash, The Verge. U.S. Treasury report says stablecoin legislation is urgently needed to address risks, Cointelegraph. Even as Biden pushes clean energy, he seeks more oil production, The New York Times. SpaceX's Crew 3 astronaut launch for NASA delayed by minor medical issue, Space.com. Brian Snitker ongoing on the road for Game 6, Max Fried and more, Talking Chop. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Ed Sheeran says backlash to his Game of Thrones cameo killed his buzz. Robert Durst indicted in 1982 murder of wife Kathy Durst. Jessica Simpson shares unrecognizable photo to honor 4 years of sobriety. Barclays CEO Jess Staley steps down over links to Jeffrey Epstein. Queen Elizabeth delivers powerful address nearly 2 weeks after health scare. Paul McCartney points out how he and Dave Grohl are the same in touching speech. Glenn Youngkin's right-wing allies are ready to claim Virginia's election was stolen. Lee Michelle, Jonathan Groff and Spring Awakening cast to reunite for concert. Joe Manchin not on board with Build Back Better legislation yet. This desert may contain secrets to avoiding climate famine. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Student help design library renovations. Man sentenced to life for child molestation. Deputy in good spirits after surviving shooting. Man shot, killed while waiting in drive-thru. Cops, man, 1-year-old injured in road rage shooting. Rapper Jay Ungin arrested following traffic stop. Man remains shaken after being robbed at gunpoint. Volunteers set 1,000 flags before officer funeral. Georgia's secret elves spreading cheer. Julius Jones request for clemency advances. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Judge blocks Chicago's police vaccine mandate, for now. Climate change is a challenge of our collective lifetime, Biden says. Barclays CEO to step down after Jeffrey Epstein inquiry. Manchin raises doubts on safety net bill, complicating path to quick vote. What we are watching on election day and movie night. James Staley, Barclays CEO, steps down after Epstein inquiry. Linwood Holton, 98, Virginia governor who pushed for racial equality, dies. Rodney Reed should not be retried in Texas murder case, judge says. A 6-hour opera in a pandemic, the Met goes for it. Robert Durst charged with murder in wife's disappearance. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Abbott demands Texas school board shield kids from pornography. Carole Baskin sues Netflix over Tiger King 2 feet footage. DeSantis rips Biden for potential $450K payments to illegal migrants, slap in the face. Nets Jotes eye patient with Kyrie Irving but says Brooklyn can be a contending team with current roster. Rangers agree with Norris winner Fox on 7-year extension. Ravens Malik Harrison struck by stray bullet, suffers non-life-threatening injury. Jeff Bezos flies gas-guzzling private jet to Glasgow Climate Change Summit. Senator Josh Hawley on censorship, Section 230 and Democrats' love for big tech. Robert Durst indicted for allegedly murdering his wife 39 years ago. Ex-NFL MVP Adrian Peterson says he's joining Titans following Derrick Henry injury. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. COP26's most melodramatic claims, from Nazi genocide to treating nature like a toilet. Nicola Sturgeon faces fury for using COP26 in Scots independence battle. Moment Greenpeace ship narrowly squeezes underneath 177 FT high bridge on way to COP26. Forced to move back to mom and dad's, aged 55, and don't ask what it's done to their love lives. Alec Baldwin and wife Hilaria step out for a coffee run in small-town Vermont. Parental guidance, Justin Coulson reveals if smacking is acceptable on Channel 9 reality show. Rust prop person shot herself in foot with blank round in accidental discharge before Alec Baldwin. Greta Thunberg denounces world leaders for whatever the F they are doing in there. Queen tells world leaders to rise above politics and achieve true statesmanship. Princess Mako's new husband fails his New York bar exam. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Coronavirus scare at Shanghai Disneyland left thousands trapped. The United States is back at the table, after Trump's 4-year hiatus, Biden officials plan show of force in Glasgow. Marshall Islands pleads with world leaders to stop the 60,000-person nation from drowning. Prince Charles, once dismissed as a plant-talking oddball, takes his environmental bona fides to COP26. France's Macron accuses Australia's Prime Minister of lying about submarine deal. I don't think, I know. TikTok owner ByteDance shortens China work hours, discouraging notorious 996 feet routine. As major UN climate talks open, pleas for action to back up big promises. Boris Johnson draws criticism for plans to fly home from Glasgow Climate Summit. Queen Elizabeth II says none of us will live forever as she urges world leaders to engage in true statesmanship to tackle the climate crisis. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Manchin urges House to pass infrastructure bill but does not endorse $1.75 trillion framework, live. Coronavirus live news, global COVID death toll hits 5 meters, Greece reports highest infections total. Mark Zuckerberg should quit Facebook, says Frances Haugen. Indigenous peoples to get $1.7 billion in recognition of role in protecting forests. Biden, Bolsonaro and Xi among leaders agreeing to end deforestation. Up to 100 missing after 22-story tower block collapses in Lagos. Kilman and Jimenez punish sloppy Everton and send Wolves 7th. Ghislaine Maxwell prosecutors can call accusers victims, judge rules. 2 more Mexican journalists killed as reporters condemn worsening violence. Macron steps back from midnight threat against UK exports in fishing row. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Supreme Court Justice is wary of Texas abortion ban enforcement scheme. Ravens LB Malik Harrison struck by stray bullet in Cleveland. Robert Durst, 78, indicted on murder of first wife, Kathleen. Watch, life-size cutouts of students fill Philippine elementary school. Watch, parrot photobombs traffic camera in Brazil. Manchin deals heavy blow to Biden's hopes for social spending, climate policy bill. John Deere workers to vote on new contract as strike leads to major gains for union. American passenger charged after allegedly punching flight attendant twice. U.S. will make large firms give paid time off for vaccinations. John Bon Jovi tests positive for COVID-19, cancels concert. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Dr. Aaron Beck, cognitive behavioral therapy pioneer dies aged 100. Nigeria building collapse, at least 4 killed in Lagos. COP26, India PM Narendra Modi pledges net zero by 2070. U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments in controversial Texas abortion case. Oromo Liberation Army, on the ground with Ethiopian fighters. Climate change, what are the big polluters doing to cut carbon emissions? Barclays boss Jeff Staley in shock exit angry at Epstein probe. My day at COP26, I told world leaders, we're not drowning, we're fighting. Handball Federation changes uniform rules after Bikini Row. COP26, David Attenborough says world is looking to leaders. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Unique style of Rittenhouse judge now on display. Military weighs penalties for refusing vaccine. Robert Durst charged with murder in 1982 disappearance of his wife, Kathy, in New York. Jury selection starts in Rittenhouse trial. Judge sets rules for trial of Epstein associate. 9,000 NYC employees placed on unpaid leave as mandate deadline arrives, global death toll surpasses 5M, COVID-19 updates. U.S. has enough vaccine for all eligible kids. AP Top Stories November 1st p. World leaders arrive for climate summit. Manchin waivers on Biden's big domestic package. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. PG&E under federal probe in Dixie Fire, expects more than $1 billion in losses tied to blaze. Robert Durst indicted in New York in death of his first wife, Kathy. Irvine man faces federal charges in violent attack on American Airlines flight attendant. Climate change is now the main driver of increasing wildfire weather, study finds. LA City Attorney backs ballot plan to double the size of the city council in 2022. For 70 years, Christmas trees were the family business, then came drought and fire. Unvaccinated teens in LA are more likely to test positive for coronavirus than adults. Obamacare open enrollment begins. Find out if you qualify for higher subsidies. Op-ed, by all means, make redistricting in Los Angeles truly independent. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Show how $6 billion will solve world hunger, and I'll donate it. Elon Musk to United Nations. Trudeau says climate action cannot wait and announces Canada ending exports of thermal coal by no later than 2030. Tech Bomb News. Nearly 300 scientists ask the WTO to ban harmful fisheries subsidies. Ecuador proposed Monday to enlarge the Galapagos Nature Reserve, famous for its giant tortoises, by some 60,000 square kilometers and finance it with a debt swap. President Guillermo Lasso announced the move at the COP26 climate summit. Germany to return Mayan ancient artifacts to Guatemala and Mexico. The time for words has now moved to the time for action. Queen Elizabeth tells climate change summit, if the world pollution situation is not critical at the moment, it is as certain as anything can be that the situation will become increasingly intolerable within a very short time. World's first clinical trial to use psilocybin to treat generalized anxiety disorder has been approved in Australia. Boris Johnson defends using private jet for 400-mile trip from Glasgow back to London after lecturing world leaders on the need to cut down on travel emissions at COP26. Woman died of complications with pregnancy in Poland because doctors were scared of restrictive abortion laws. Solar flare seen above Wales shortly before widespread power cuts. Singapore bans book about censorship for including Charlie Hebdo cartoons. Japan PM's idea of new capitalism aimed at narrowing income disparities drove a day stock decline. Fears of Brexit violence as armed men hijack and torch bus in Northern Ireland. Jair Bolsonaro's bodyguards attacked reporters who were covering the president as he walked the streets of Rome talking to his supporters. The reporters said they will file a police complaint. Shanghai Disneyland COVID scare trapped 33,000 visitors inside in surreal scene. The next headlines are from Forbes. GOP Pennsylvania Senate candidate reportedly accused of strangling wife. Amazon acquires exclusive U.S. rights to TikTok connected TV app. ESG default insurance. Janet Jackson Super Bowl scandal will be subject of the latest New York Times doc for Hulu FX. Asia's Power Businesswomen 2021. Return of Mexico's Day of the Dead, celebrations back amid drop in COVID cases. Zuck's CEO overhauling Amazon's robotaxi unit ahead of Las Vegas commercial launch. Most Americans believe U.S. changed for worse since 1950s, poll finds. Virginia's tightening governor's race. Here's what we know about the week's big political showdown. The last place Cleveland Browns, who saw this coming? The next headlines are from Nature.com. Refining the toolkit for sugar analysis. How climate coverage can drive change. Top climate scientists are skeptical that nations will rein in global warming. The vaccine shots that rang around the world. Scientists say Australian plan to cull up to 10,000 wild horses doesn't go far enough. A reconstruction of early cryptic COVID spread. Virus detective, searching for Zika, dengue and SARS-CoV-2. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,741,854,001 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Music industry moves. Sam Smith signs Tim and Danny Music and Warner Chappell. Republic hires Devin Liebran as senior VP. Elton John drops first ever eyewear collection. No surprise, they're fabulous, fantastic and, often, pink. Neon names Jason Wald as Vice President of Production, Acquisitions. Carole Baskin sues Netflix for using footage of her in Tiger King 2. NBCU, Snapchat Inc. deal to bring famous quotes from TV shows, movies to app. Law and Order revival at NBC casts Jeffrey Donovan. Gina Skok, Go-Go's drummer, snares readers with new book of photos and memories. Chris Pratt to voice Garfield in upcoming animated movie. Though travel restrictions ease in parts of Asia, tightened measures in Hong Kong could put local film industry at risk. Adele's 30-track list revealed, featuring the amazingly titled I Drink Wine. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Robert Durst has been indicted in the 1982 murder of his wife, Kathy Durst. Senator Manchin says he's not ready to back Biden's $1.75 trillion budget package. Shanghai Disneyland is shut down, and 30,000 people are tested, after one COVID case. The largest municipal force in the U.S. has thousands on unpaid leave over vaccines. The Souvenir Part 2 is a near-perfect sequel about laws and art. Edgar Wright tells a different kind of ghost story in Last Night in Soho. The CEO of Barclays steps down over a report on his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. Huma Abedin's admiration for mentor Hillary Clinton is on full display in both and. Vax cards, Vax sites, fully vaxxed, Vax is Oxford's 2021 Word of the Year. A Southwest pilot is under investigation for the divisive phrase "Let's go, Brandon." The following headlines are from The Week. China moves to curb excess eating and food waste. Frustration with D.C. Democrats has infected Virginia voters ahead of Tuesday's election. Manchin urges House to move infrastructure bill forward without his reconciliation commitment. Over 30,000 people were locked inside Shanghai Disneyland over a single COVID-19 case. The policing problem SCOTUS could fix, but won't. Why the pandemic may not be a game changer for Republicans, Democrats in 2022. Biden apologizes to world leaders for Trump's withdrawal from Paris Climate Accord. Let's go Brandon and the anti-civility arms race. Ron DeSantis isn't the never Trump solution. Steve Buscemi dresses as his fellow kids meme for Halloween. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Locked up and left to die. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Scientists simulate the climate of Arrakis. It turns out Dune is a pretty realistic exoplanet. Bacteria could make rocket fuel on Mars. These are the news headlines for today, Tuesday, November 2nd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The next news is from Politico. Boris Johnson channels Greta Thunberg at COP26 opening. Learn to speak Congress, your guide to Hill jargon. China's Xi to address COP26 climate talks in writing only. Queen Elizabeth II urges leaders to rise above politics in COP26 climate talks. Logistical nightmares delay COP26 talks as UK hosts struggle. Survey, U.S. healthcare system and state of democracy perceived negatively abroad. Biden and his allies look past China on climate. Manchinima could hold the keys to Dems' net neutrality dreams. Satellite images show new Russian military buildup near Ukraine. Manchin won't commit to backing his party's $1.75 trillion social spending bill. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, Victoria records 989 new local COVID-19 cases, 9 deaths as Melbourne Cup Day kicks off. NSW records 173 new cases, 4 deaths. Victoria gets a taste of summer as Melburnians enjoy hottest day in 7 months. Melbourne Cup 2021 Live updates, incentive eased the favourite, future score scratched. The reign of Barclays boss Just Staley was haunted by ghosts. Crowds return to Flemington as Victoria's daily COVID-19 case tally falls below 1,000 mark. Man charged after allegedly stabbing man and headbutting police officer. New York prosecutors drop forcible touching charge against Adegoroy. Rabbit tripping, Perth teens creating cough syrup cocktails as they chase a cheap high. Perth racing whistleblower pushed to resign after calling out inappropriate conduct of her boss. ASX futures up 0.2%, Goodman Group upgrades guidance. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen says company has a meta problem. Biden's $80 billion proposal to fund the IRS is dramatically in excess of what the IRS needs, says former IRS commissioner. Earnings results, Check stock plummets as CEO says the education industry is experiencing a slowdown. Money, GameStop and AMC start the week strong, as retail investors embrace their preferred brand of magic. In one chart, signs of a new CapEx cycle emerge as S&P 500 companies report earnings, says Buffet. Keywords, behind the 8 ball, Biden apologizes to world powers for Trump's split from Paris Climate Pact. Zillow is offloading homes, raising red flags about the real estate market. The New York Post, vaccine-skeptical actress Kristy Swanson of Buffy the Vampire Slayer note hospitalized with COVID-19. Paid leave is out, universal pre-K is in, what women, especially women of color, have at stake in the pandemic recovery. Newswatch, can you buy Shiba Inu on Robinhood? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. AI inventorship continues to be an uphill battle, American University Intellectual Property Brief. Issue 35, PTAB Trial Tracker Goodwin, JD Supra. Can innovation accelerate the global transition to clean energy, open access government? Can copyright law accommodate AI, Lawyer Monthly magazine. CardioNet's signal transform invention is ineligible, patent Leo. IPO's first AI power tool improves quality of TM applications, Gov UK. Recent patent applications in beverages enriched with plant proteins NPJ Science of Food, Nature.com. Analysis, key patent trends and priority shifts in AI inventions, Bloomberg Law. 5 best patent attorneys in St. Louis, MO, Kev's Best. ORNL's top 10 tech transfer successes topic of FORNL Talk, Oak Ridge Today. The next headlines are from Quartz. A post-Brexit fishing spat between the UK and France has escalated. In one tweet, Elon Musk captures the everyday sexism faced by women in STEM. Holding the Tokyo Olympics was absolutely the right call, for Comcast. The G20 agreement on financing coal says nothing about the private sector. Why is Just Staley resigning from Barclays? Why Ryanair may delist from the London Stock Exchange. Supply chain chaos threatens the growth of solar energy. Solar and wind aren't enough. Hire externally or promote internally? In a labor shortage, the answer is clear. Coca-Cola is stepping up its rivalry with Gatorade. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Lessons from the first internet ages. Hawaii school, police department on the verge of being sued for arresting a 10-year-old girl over a drawing. Because of course, Trump's back deal may have broken the law. California prosecutors are still trying to get Signal to hand over user info it simply doesn't possess. Daily Deal, the 2021 Complete Video Production Super Bundle. Forget the kids these days, it's the adults and their moral panics to worry about. It's ridiculous the developing world wasn't given access to the Facebook files. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Joe Manchin. Marilyn Manson. Turkey. Kyle Rittenhouse. NFL trade deadline. Diwali. Robinhood Shiba Inu. Adrian Peterson. Melania Trump. Steve Buscemi. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. No more blah blah blah. Greta Thunberg drops F-bombs demanding more climate action as Biden appears to fall asleep at COP26. More Democrats think party has better chance of winning 2024 if Biden is replaced than think he should run again, poll. Russian military soon to receive first mass-produced S-500 defense system, Putin. From outcast to icon and back again, is the international career of one of Russia's most colorful football heroes over? Russia sees U.S. warships in Black Sea through sights of defense systems, Putin says. Solskjaer is playing 4D chess, under fire. Man UTD boss dubbed genius for supposed role in facilitating Conte move to Spurs. Nearly 1 in 3 Republicans believe violence may be necessary to save America, poll shows. Washington Post refuses to publish Trump's full response to its Capitol riot investigation. Rape, murder, and restoring virginity, honor-based abuse cases soar in Britain, reports say. 5.9 magnitude earthquake strikes off coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, USGS. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. The U.S. is now closer to a dictatorship than a democratic republic. Who is going to tell him? CNN's Wolf Blitzer reports from wrong Scottish city as climate summit begins. Youngkin moves ahead of McAuliffe in majority of recent Virginia polls. Apple working on crash detection for iPhone, Apple Watch, that would call 911 automatically after car wrecks. Billionaire tax is a ploy to take eyes off bigger problems. Chicago judge temporarily lifts vaccine mandate for police union members. In 2022, things aren't gonna get done on an absolutely massive scale. I have zero idea what the RBA are going to do, but make no mistake, there is considerable pain out there. 9,000 NYC workers, including firefighters and officers, on unpaid leave over mandate, mayor's office. Dow hits 36K, small cap soar as stocks shrug off uber hawkish Fed expectations. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Yemeni Americans push for representation in key U.S. Arab community. Starlink in India, Musk gears up to launch internet services. U.S. stocks kick off November with fresh all-time highs. SoftBank mall sale of Fortress Investment Group. U.S. judge dismisses most charges against Maduro ally Alex Saab. Dozens of nations seek urgent UN Right Council meeting on Sudan. COP26, developing nations urge rich ones to fund climate goals. Al Jazeera Media Network's 25th anniversary. India targets net zero carbon emissions by 2070, says Modi. U.S. prepares to roll out COVID vaccines for children aged 5 to 11. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Not about Trump, Terry McAuliffe shifts communication strategy days before election. Election overview, Virginia State House up for grabs after 2 years of Democrat control. Joe Biden promises UN climate summit, I will remake American economy to lead world to net zero. NFL equals slavery, Kaepernick still cashing checks from Nike, which is accused of using slave labor in China. Xi Jinping scolds world on climate change while China keeps polluting. Youngkin, we expect to do really well tomorrow. Supreme Court hears arguments in Texas pro-life law case. Greta Thunberg rips leaders for whatever the FK they are doing in their climate summit. Exclusive, 60K migrants released into U.S. in October. Quitters never win, Democrat Terry McAuliffe cancels Virginia Beach event at last second on election eve. The next headlines are from UPI News. Road trippers buy lottery tickets in 11 states, win $2 million in Virginia. Look, baby for seal rescued after crossing California road. Family history book found at Minnesota thrift or returned to family. Watch, bear raids leftover KFC from California man's kitchen counter. Social media reunites Pennsylvania man with lost wedding band. Watch, California families fake fire Halloween display prompts 911 calls. Long-tailed bat wins New Zealand's Bird of the Year contest. Watch, men pass giant beach wall 673 times for Guinness World Records. Watch, escaped cow goes running on North Dakota highway. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Part 3, Army CIA unit studied the real UFO Blue Book cases. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. The joys of solitude, thousands of people found new appreciation during enforced alone time in lockdown. Lifeboat volunteers rushed from crew members' wedding to rescue 6 people in 7 minutes. Luxembourg becomes the first European country to legalize growing and consuming cannabis. The best-selling car in all of Europe is electric, and Hertz just bought 100,000 Teslas for its new fleet. Dramatic boom in nesting sites of sea turtles as conservation in West Africa pays off. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Tuesday, November 2nd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. When Jews and Mormons swap lives, it's as awkward as you'd expect. Republican Senator Josh Hawley worries feminism has driven men to pornography and video games. Republicans. Steve Buscemi dressed up as his fellow kids meme for Halloween, passed out candy. Women of color growing force as mom influencers. Elon Musk agrees to sell Tesla stock only if the UN proves his wealth could help solve world hunger. Marie Antoinette's adultery unmasked by modern science. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. The Volvo C40 shows how luxury cars can be green. Apple costs social media $10 billion. Here are the ads that cash could buy. This bizarre Japanese flying bike screeches like an eagle and hovers. Virtual reality is fighting loneliness, both on Earth and in space. Clean your ears the smart way with this visual ear cleaner. The Blue Sound Node is the music streamer every hi-fi setup needs. Physicists have come back empty-handed after their search for sterile neutrinos fails. Dropbox users rejoice, an Apple M1 version is dropping next year. How to bootstrap and scale your SaaS startup the right way. Could open banking pose new security threats to your financial data? We asked an expert. The following headlines are from Science Daily. The silent build-up to a super eruption. Researchers discover predictable behavior and promising material for computer memory. Study shows how 1.5 sea temperature rise can cause significant changes in coastal species. What's down there? Hoy study shows environmental DNA is a reliable way to learn about migration from the ocean twilight zone. Sperm switch swimming patterns to locate egg. How bread wheat got its gluten, tracing the impact of a long-lost relative on modern bread wheat. New type of nerve cell discovered in the retina. Snakes more likely to inbreed and lose ability to adapt due to urbanization. A reef in 2 gears, new patterns of coral recovery discovered. The 5-2 diet, a good choice for gestational diabetes. The next headlines are from Information Week. There's gold in digital onboarding. Its best use cases. Chatbots, approaching 60 sure looks good on you. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Tuesday, November 2nd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. New roles, combined offices for NASA Administrator Leadership Team. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. West Jordan police officer shoots man. After scoring 66 against Virginia, will Bayou look to keep piling up the points against FCS Idaho State. Unified Fire captain dies from complications of COVID-19. Kyle Whittingham says Gary Patterson's TCU exit a reminder that nobody's safe in college football. Bagley cartoon, cold cuts. $15 million to the University of Utah and $25 million to Utah Valley University will expand computer science programs. Utah reported almost 300 COVID-19 deaths in October. Davis County panel to review cases of convicted people who maintain their innocence. After glitches and disruptions, Utah School Board gets $3 million in settlement with testing company. Utah boy struck by car while trick-or-treating dies. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Tesla is letting non-Tesla Fs use its supercharger network for the first time. Squid Game cryptocurrency scammers make off with $2.1 million. Stablecoins are a compelling payment option, but they need to be regulated, Biden administration report says. Epic pulls plug on Fortnite in China. Biden says U.S. will meet its climate goals, urges help for developing nations. SpaceX's Starlink registers in India, aims to deploy 200,000 active terminals by 2022. New report says Apple's AR headset will have Wi-Fi 6E, arrive in 2022. Some older Macs reportedly bricked after installing Mac OS Monterey. India will reach net zero emissions by 2070, Modi tells COP26. U.S. telecoms are going to start physically removing Huawei gear. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Holiday lights display at Grants Farms kicks off November 19th. Pops shooting, 2 charged in weekend homicide. New renovations coming to boathouse at Forest Park. After security flaw discovered by newspaper, Missouri hires data breach group. Missouri records 425 new COVID-19 cases, no virus deaths. Illinois man catches 90-pound catfish over Halloween weekend. More than 75% of St. Louis City employees received COVID vaccine. St. Louis unveils proposed 14-ward redistricting map. See inside, Mike Schilt's Clayton condo is on the market. 5 members of Bush family take over Grants Farm operations today. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Judge limits new California law protecting vaccination sites. Man pleads guilty to Thanksgiving midway stabbings of 2 transients. Noise advisory announced at local military installation this week. I couldn't be happier, Bob Melvin on becoming Padres' new manager. Irvine man charged with assaulting American Airlines flight attendant, causing plane to be diverted to Denver. California sends out 1.1 million new stimulus checks. Bystander killed in street racing crash identified. Work on San Diego Zoo's new Wildlife Explorers Base Camp enters final phases. Man hit, killed while fixing trailer on Otay Mesa roadway identified. Man shot during melee at Halloween party. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Shanghai Disneyland locks in more than 30,000 people for testing after COVID scare on Halloween night. Alibaba silicon chip in the age of hypersonic missiles. Chinese Super League's Hebei FC on verge of collapse. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Georgia woman says she received $700 ER bill without being seen. Oprah announces her favorite things list ahead of the holidays. Famed Napa vineyard for sale for nearly $8 million. 430,000 people to receive tax refund from IRS. 3 Bay Area counties ease mask rules in some indoor settings. California sends out 1.1 million more stimulus checks. Will robots fix labor shortages? Apple unveiled the new MacBook M1 Pro and redesigned AirPods this week. Here's what to know. Manchin demands infrastructure vote, holds off support on spending bill. Aviators survey fans for possible A's move to Las Vegas. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Former Winfield Township trustee remembered as good steward of taxpayers' money. Jury selection underway at Kyle Rittenhouse homicide trial. Judge denies preliminary injunction in Naperville firefighter COVID-19 lawsuit. Pritzker calls gun violence a public health crisis, lays out prevention approach. Federal authorities unveil charges against Chicago gang. Vike star D.E. Hunter done for year with torn pectoral muscle. Too much Halloween candy? Here are some places to donate it. Prospect Heights man sentenced to 24 years for child sex assault. Naperville morning off-duty death of outstanding firefighter. Better, the mix takes a hit in morning ratings. WBBM News Radio takes a clean sweep. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. In the first month, Washington averaged nearly 10,000 exemption applications per day to the state's new long-term care tax. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 1-21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6M, depth, 15.33 km, in Indonesia January 11, 2021, 1704 UTC, about 200 people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6M, depth 22 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands January 11, 2021, 002 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Cameroon, Nigeria. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. A beautiful Tuesday before our next front on Wednesday. Rod Blagojevich documentary Being Blago catches up with ex-Illinois governor, wife. ABC 13 Weather U, the 3 types of cold fronts. Death of 8-year-old found in hotel tub with horrendous injuries ruled a homicide, examiner says. Bonita Hamilton and the return of Broadway's The Lion King. Huma Abedin speaks out on Anthony Weiner scandal while promoting memoir on The View. Everything we know about Hocus Pocus 2, release date, cast and more. Iconic restaurant Yamashiro Hollywood hires its first female executive chef. Taste testing Chicago toddler funds diabetes research through Zarlango's ice cream. Citgo Distinguished Scholars, Tia Lee. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Media makes fresh plea for access to ex-cop Potter's trial. Canada links to keep species protections under legal deal. Panthers winning formula, run the ball, play good defense. Number 12 Auburn, Knicks thriving in second half benching. The latest, $1.7 billion pledged for indigenous communities. Running the ball is a winning formula for the Eagles. Buccaneers looking to rest, recuperate during bye week. Browns struggling, searching with a fence stuck in neutral. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra extra, we're all living in Pete Davidson's native NYC now. 9,000 NYC workers now on unpaid leave as COVID-19 vaccine mandate starts enforcement. Photos, Howie's hot dog cart won at the 2021 Fort Greene Great PU-Kin. Photos, bike kills gathering of mutant bikes takes over lot in Red Hook. Fantastic vegan versions of fast food favorites at new hip city veg. Photos, the best Halloween 2021 costumes on the NYC subway. Coronavirus stats, back to school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. Photos, the Village Halloween Parade returns with huge crowds and cool costumes. Early edition, Steve Buscemi was his own meme for Halloween. This Brooklyn chemical spill is constantly spewing fumes. The EPA wants it to be a Superfund site. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. UNAIDS upholds decriminalization, access to services, on International Drug Users Day. Risky business, why sustainability is now central to mitigating risk. After a 20-month lockdown, UN plans to return to near normal by mid-November. COP26, enough of treating nature like a toilet, Guterres brings stark call for climate action to Glasgow. Honor 5 million lives lost to COVID-19 by making vaccine equity a reality, Guterres says. COP26 opens in Glasgow with calls for ambitious solutions to tackle climate emergency. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. How the Revolution Begins, Final Messages, Part 2. Will China pop the global everything bubble? Yes. Billionaires are not morally qualified to shape human civilization. Instagram model is on trial for distracting guard to break her mom out of Colombian prison. Nestle, Mars and Hershey accused of using child labor to get cheap cocoa in new court papers. People in UK who post false information about vaccines could be jailed for 2 years. The US supply chain crisis will get worse, as will inflation. Bezos flies by private jet to have cup of tea and climate change chat with Prince Charles, who also flew in by private jet. Temples profit from forcing COVID tests on cops, firefighters. Peter Thiel warns the centralized misinformation problem creates a fake consensus. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Does photo show an 1,895 car crash involving the only 2 cars in Ohio? Is this a monument to Michelle Obama's former slave ancestor? New Zealand Strait crossed for first time by electric plane. White House Press Secretary Psaki says she has COVID-19. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade returns to pre-pandemic shape. Did Biden poop his pants in Rome? Biden swings focus of climate effort from U.S. to the world. COVID-19's global death toll tops 5 million in under 2 years. Supreme Court takes up Texas law banning most abortions. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Why it's easy to misinterpret numbers of deaths among the vaccinated. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Colorado gun store owner and competitive shooter kills wife, 2 kids, self. Crying Nazi hijacks Charlottesville trial to rant about Antifa. What lockdown? Russia's Halloween night was an all-out rager. Revlon one-step hairdryer brush makes it easy to dry my curly hair. Feds refuse to offer Ghislaine Maxwell a plea deal. Parole board urges clemency for death row inmate days before execution. Conservative Supreme Court justices signal doubts about Texas' extreme abortion ban. Alberts launched the Sweats collection just in time for winter. A genetic gold mine in Chile's desert could help create new drought-resistant crops. Tucker ridiculously claims his deranged dog provoked WAPO's massive January 6th expose. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Braves still set up well after failing to close out World Series, no pressure. Eric Adams says NYC not used to having a committed leader in election. De Blasio dig. Tiger King star Carol Baskin sues Netflix over Season 2 footage. Miami-based Q Asian barbecue to open in NY backed by Reuben Brothers. Trump mocks sleepy Joe Biden for appearing to fall asleep at climate conference. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. A tiny telescope beyond Saturn might trump giant telescopes near Earth. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Leaders risk climate catastrophe without action. President Biden urges action at climate summit. U.S. releases declassified COVID-19 origins report. Biden to attend climate change conference as foreign trip continues in Scotland. DNA confirms South Dakota man is great-grandson of Sitting Bull. The science of fear and why we seek it out. COP26 climate summit in Glasgow aims to unite global leaders in reducing carbon emissions by 2030. Tourists flock to natural wonders being affected by climate change. SpaceX readies Crew Dragon for launch to space station. Millions of huge invasive spiders from Asia take hold in Georgia. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Judge in Kyle Rittenhouse trial plays jeopardy during technical difficulties. Tish James likens Cuomo's sex harass pushback to Trump's big lie. De Blasio slams FDNY firefighters for faking sick over vaccine mandate, vows consequences. White House preps for CDC approval for kid-sized COVID vaccine. Biden cites overwhelming obligations of U.S. on climate. International Handball Federation nixes skimpy bikini requirement for female athletes after controversial fine. NYC Mayor de Blasio won't take questions on controversial NYPD security detail. Squid Game cryptocurrency drops to $0 after scammers steal millions. 2 killed, more than 10 injured in shooting at massive Illinois Halloween party. Siblings added to paid family leave in New York as Governor Hochul signs expansion. The following headlines are from military.com. Army will approve temporary NCO promotions before soldiers go to school. Turkey's Erdogan, Biden will do his best for F-16 sale. Putin, Russia must build up defenses in view of NATO moves. Pentagon rattled by Chinese military push on multiple fronts. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Midwifery likely to become a licensed profession in Illinois, but critics say lack of Medicaid coverage is a problem. Flossmoor shooting leaves 3 wounded, 1 dead. Former Old Fast Eddie Verdalyak ordered to report to federal prison by end of the month. Federal authorities announce sweeping conspiracy case against Chicago street gang involving 19 slayings. Frost settles over northern Illinois Monday, and more freezing nights are ahead. Chicago police sergeant charged after allegedly shooting at car thieves in Sam's Club parking lot. Glenview native missing in Chicago after Saturday night in the River North area. Judge rules city vaccine mandate must be arbitrated with police unions, pauses December 31st deadline to receive shots. Boy, 13, killed in Halloween shooting in Hammond, second teen wounded. Convicted twice, former Portage Mayor James Snyder files appeal in his case. The following headlines are from phys.org. Researchers move closer to controlling two-dimensional graphene. Better models of atmospheric detergent can help predict climate change. Team develops real-time diagnostic for liquid metal jetting 3D printing. India will reach net zero emissions by 2070, Modi says. Centriole instability might contribute to some cases of microcephaly. A superconducting silicon photonic chip for quantum communication. Slow and steady wilting makes for better soybeans. How to limit global warming to 1.5 C. Study casts doubt on theory that women aren't as competitive as men. Researchers uncover genetic gold mine underlying plant resilience in extreme desert environment. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Tuesday, November 2nd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. 5 things you never knew about polar bears. Interesting November holidays that are rooted in science. A gift guide for science nerds. 7 things you may not know about Charles Darwin. Best supplements to take for effective weight loss. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Uber Eats gets into the diaper delivery business. Pierce County Council considers new oversight in response to report on Sheriff Ed Troyer. World Series TV viewers for Braves Astros up 37% for Game 3. Winless Lions go into bye with fans staying away from games. Astros Baker appreciates bench, Bregman to stay in 7th spot. Louisville CB Clark to miss rest of season with knee injury. Close win a good sign for Patriots team now back at .500. Police, hiker reported overdue in Juneau found dead. Heat lose Strauss to sprained knee, but nothing more severe. Judge, no new trial for Texas death row inmate Rodney Reed. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Letters, Facebook thread teens vulnerable accountability needed bans benefits accurate data viral video. Election 2021, yes, there's yet another one Tuesday, but does it apply to you? Anchor's Fish and Seafood Grill joins Saratoga's Restaurant Row. Oakland unveils new, upgraded tiny homes for homeless Lake Merritt residents. The 5 best PhD dissertation and thesis writing services, popular site reviews. Here's how Santa Clara County plans to spend hundreds of millions in federal COVID-19 relief funds. Why Bob Melvin left the Oakland A's for the San Diego Padres, sometimes it becomes time. Warriors James Wiseman cleared to practice, next stop, Santa Cruz? Watch Spot the Robot dance like Jagger. Vote now, Bay Area News Group Girls Athlete of the Week. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Inside the Beltway, secret agenda of climate alarmists. Afghanistan war photos deleted from Defense Department website. Terry McAuliffe, Glenn Youngkin scramble for votes in home stretch of Virginia governor race. Air Force vaccine mandate tests Pentagon crackdown. Glenn Youngkin says Terry McAuliffe early voter turnout is light and soft. Texas abortion law could lead to deluge of Supreme Court challenges to Constitution, Biden admin. Ambush attacks on police up 139%, report finds. California pro-life group claims narrow victory over vaccine protest ban. Sabato's crystal ball changes Virginia election forecast to favor a Youngkin victory. Metro, 8 trains added for a total of 40 trains operating. The next headlines are from The Intercept. House Coronavirus Committee launches investigation into organizations pushing hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin. EPA withheld reports of substantial risk posed by 1,240 chemicals. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Pritzker's RX for public health crisis of gun violence, $250 million in funding, new state office to reduce and interrupt shootings. The point was to be feared, closing arguments underway in trial of accused Four Corner Hustlers chief. Blackhawks, NHL mishandled sexual assault allegations in 2020 and 2021, not just 2010. Jury selection underway at Kyle Rittenhouse trial. David Strathairn brings an almost James Bondian story to Chicago Shakespeare. If the Broncos can trade Von Miller, can the Bears trade Khalil Mack? Police were called 3 times for excessive noise at Halloween party before nearly a dozen people were shot in Joliet Township. Marilyn Manson prays with Justin Bieber at Yee's Sunday service. Illinois Kofi Coburn gets 3-game suspension from NCAA. Community projects see hope with new city pilot program. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Tightrope walk ahead for India at COP26 climate summit. NEET results, 20 candidates share top 5 All India rankings. Multi-pronged approach is boosting GST collection, government. FB, Insta, WA block accounts in millions in September. Australia recognizes Kazakhstan. India's target of 500 GW renewable energy by 2030 significant contribution to climate goals. Green crackers allowed if ambient air quality not poor. Money laundering case, Anil Deshmukh arrested by ED after over 12 hours of questioning. PM resists 2050 net zero goal pressure, commits to 2070. Open to receiving Indian diplomats, humanitarian aid, Taliban. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Lucas Nelson is back in gear. Review, Doctor Who, Flux, The Halloween Apocalypse. 4 unexpected heroes from Astros Game 5 win. Things to do, upcoming food and drink events in Houston this week. Rams throttle Texans in embarrassing fashion. The next headlines are about world records making news. This Ford Mustang smashed the quarter-mile world record for stick-shift cars, top speed. Random, the current world record speed run for Metroid Dread took under 1.5 hours, Nintendo Life. No record for Augusta Halloween mask event, but organizers excited by new city tradition, Kennebec Journal and Morning Sentinel. Twin-turbo Shelby GT 350 sets new world record, hold on to your seat, Auto Evolution. The swimmers with the most medals at the 2021 FINA World Cup, swam. Florida man dies after attempt to break a Guinness World Record for skydiving, USA Today. Kyle Chalmers discusses world record in 100 freestyle on Inside with Britwalk podcast, Swimming World magazine. World record, a man spins a football for 21.66 seconds on his finger, Ball News. Sniper who broke world record kill reveals how long it took Craig Harrison, laudable. Strong woman Nadja Stowers matches bag over bar world record at 2021 record breakers, bar bend. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Netflix yanks 2 spy drama episodes after Philippines outcry over China map. Pretty much all computer code can be hijacked by newly discovered Trojan source exploit. Google promises to fix Pixel 6 Pro's weird flickering display problem. Zinc may help you beat a cold, but no one knows the best way to take it. With news of Chris Pratt's Garfield, we are become Mondays. Rural telecoms fear coming outages as purge of Huawei equipment begins. In-flight Peloton classes could make flying less stressful, or totally awful. Archaeologists cast doubt on oldest evidence of humans in the Americas. Why, The Last Man's Agent 355, Ashley Romans, on those finale cliffhangers and more. Leaked confidential Facebook doc reveals internal rift over handling of political ads. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Villamontes in Bolivia at 110.84 degrees Fahrenheit or 43.8 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 71.86 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 57.7 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Here are the best early Black Friday deals we're seeing right now. Pushing renewable power immediately could save trillions in health costs. Apple's first headset will focus on high-quality games, reporter claims. Amazon's new world faces down a world of wild glitches. Amazon's satellite launch schedule puts it nearly 4 years behind Starlink. Why macOS updates might brick your Mac, and what you can do about it. More than 20,000 people died on U.S. roads in the first half of 2021. Our fave bounty hunter takes on Tatooine's underworld in Book of Boba Fett trailer. Pixel 6 teardown shows lots of heat dissipation, questionable wave layout. As teens left Facebook, company plan to lure 6-year-olds, documents show. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Texas medical board takes corrective action against Trump-loving alien DNA doctor. Lauren Boebert attacks Pete Buttigieg's paternity leave, and brags she delivered a child in the front seat of my truck. GOP's Greg Abbott calls on schools to remove extremely inappropriate books from their libraries. Glenn Youngkin nervously insists he's not terribly close to Trump hours before ex-president's rally. Trump declares climate change a hoax, then goes on self-pitying rant about losing the election. He tried to choke me, estranged wife of Trump-backed candidate gives shocking testimony of physical abuse. I mean, what? Jake Tapper astonished by new survey showing GOP voters' belief in conspiracy theories. Republicans are in a sustained panic as they remain boxed in by Trump's election lies, analysis. This one is particularly shocking, racial slur found after Black City Councilman's house is set on fire. Jury selection in Kyle Rittenhouse trial off to a slow start, father of slain man decides not to attend the trial. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Republicans are already claiming the Virginia election has been rigged. The Scottish arguments on Texas abortion ban mostly ignore the people who need help right now. It's time to use the F word for Fox. The Supreme Court is debating Texas abortion law. They should hear these agonizing stories. Supreme Court will consider limiting EPA's power to regulate greenhouse gases. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. NASA scientists propose new alien life evidence scale, space.com. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. A new model for how the brain perceives unique odors from Channel, The Financial. Microevolutionary dynamics show tropical valleys are deeper for montane birds of the Atlantic forest, Nature.com. Embryonic eavesdropping, how animals hear and respond to sound, the scientist. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Pentagon utilized UFOs in the nukes data collected by R. Hastings. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.